Here are my 5 secret productivity rules that have revolutionized how I work. Now, productivity isn't just a thing to tick off. It's more of a habit that you must follow. As the CEO of Senior Studios, I've faced numerous struggles and challenges that have led me to these habits, which have encouraged me to find new things to put into place and systems and processes that allows me to take the days and win them. First off, one struggle I found was that I was listening to Spotify. Now, a lot of people use Spotify as a way to listen to focus music. However, what I realized was that it became very easy for me to find other types of music to listen to. So initially, I started to listen to music like lo-fi, but oftentimes it led me to opening up another Spotify playlist, which led me down the route of listening to music that in the end ended up distracting me because I just liked the music that was playing. But that caused me to instead focus on listening to the music, singing along and stuff like that, which distracted me from doing the work that I was supposed to do. Now, one solution I have found with that is using a software called brain.fm. It allows me to use a completely separate browser that isn't Spotify, which only has music that are of focus orientated. Now, that is just the main benefit that I feel it has served, but brain.fm actually is a scientifically improved product of lo-fi music, so it has scientific benefits as well, but the main benefit I've seen is it allows me to not be distracted by the compelling music that exists on Spotify. Secondly, a very big important habit that I've added into my system is to put away my phone while I work, and not just put away from my desk. I put away entirely away from my room. So at the start of each morning, I actually put my phone outside of my room, and that forces me to not even check at it or open it at all. Because the thing is, even if you put your phone away, if you still keep it within your vicinity and you keep it in the eyesight of your room, you will still be tempted to see what has been sent to you. And even if you disable all of your notifications, which I've also done, which is another big recommendation, but even if you do that, the fact that you have your phone within your eyesight forces you subconsciously to think about it, and you are tempted to lift it up, check if you have received any new notifications, check the phone, go into any apps, which is a big distraction. So what I've done is that I have completely put away my phone and put it outside of my room, which allows me to just focus on what needs to be done. And that forces me to do what needs to be done because I don't have anything else to think about. And the way I've structured this is by after lunch is when I first open my phone, which is around 1 p.m. So until that time, I don't open or lift my phone up at all during the day, which allows me to have the morning of focused work. But it's important to mention that once I get back to work, I put away my phone again outside of my room, get into my room and do another deep work. And this has been a huge benefit for me. It allows me to focus on what needs to be done. Another interesting workspace tip is that I have a water bottle on my desk at all times. And this keeps me hydrated, but it also has another interesting benefit, which is that I need to go on the toilet during the workday. And it forces me to step out of my chair so I don't get stuck, and allowing me to just take a few steps, go, take a small break, do the thing and be ready to go back to work again. And in addition to that, it helps me to be reminded to stay hydrated, preventing fatigue and enhancing mental clarity. Another huge benefit I have discovered is the use of the tool Rize. It's a time tracking tool which I regularly use on my computer to track the focused work that I do. But the most important thing is not just to track it, but to actually review it. So I have structured a way that I've reviewed my track time every Monday, where I also go over the tasks that I've done the previous week. I go through the Rize, see what tasks I worked on, how focused I was, and stuff like that. And this allows me to see what I worked on, what I should have worked on but that I did, so I know what to delegate and what I should possibly eliminate completely and stop doing at all. This has been a huge benefit for me because it allows me to see exactly what I've been doing, exactly how focused I've been, exactly what distractions that cause me to diverse from doing the actual focused work and pushing the business forward. So reviewing that and seeing what I've done has allowed me to build a better understanding of the work that I'm doing and allow me to focus on the things that are truly meant to be done. And that way I can prioritize my schedule based on the data that I've got on the past work that I've done and which work that has led to the most profitable business growth. Now, another big productivity tip is to experiment. I've done so many different experiments, everything from personal experience to business experience, and just even these productivity habits. And just getting into a habit of experimenting and finding out what works for you is hugely beneficial for your growth. And some experiments will be unsuccessful, but I want you to reframe how you view experiments to the way that you either win, which means that you have found an experiment and a new habit that is really successful for you, but you shouldn't review an experiment which was unsuccessful as something bad. I would rather want you to view it as something that you have learned, which means that you either win or you learn. Because if you do an experiment and it isn't successful in terms of your metrics, how you success, it would still be a learning experience which allows you to refine that habit or to know what you shouldn't do any further. So I've done a bunch of different tests and seeing some things works and some things don't work, but the things that haven't worked, I have been really thankful for them because that has meant that I don't need to spend more time on doing similar stuff because I know that it doesn't work, which saves me a lot of time in the future. But for the things that do work, I've discovered some of my best new habits, such as reviewing my week on a weekly basis to see what things I've been doing and what things I should be delegating, which has saved me a ton of time over the years. And just to add to that, this fosters a growth mindset and continuous improvement where you iterate on the experiment that you do. So to conclude, these 5 productivity hacks allows you to take control of your work and foster a growth for your opportunity. Now, if you want to learn more about my journey and my tips, feel free to subscribe, and I look forward to sharing more of my lessons.